All right, when it comes to writing prompts, journaling, I believe in imbuing the journaling or writing process with feeling. I believe that the feeling or the emotion, the energy in motion, people use that term, I kind of like that, is like a magnet. And when you attach that magnetism to particular words or thoughts, you create an attraction. And you can do this for positive effects or wanted and unwanted effects too. So even if you're attaching a lot of emotion to something that you don't like, trying to push it away, the net result is that you're giving it more attention and more energy in motion. And so you're kind of feeding that negative thing. So negative, positive, like, dislike, both of them are increased by emotion. Be aware of that. And then choose to speak of the things that you would have come to fruition, that you would have come true if you had that power. So when you're journaling, step into the space of who you want to be before you start to write. So this means you're going to project yourself into a version of you which already has the qualities, the resources, the relationships that you currently are calling in. You need to inhabit that feeling of that version of yourself, not as a future idea, but as a present moment experience. You don't have to convince yourself that what you're currently experiencing now isn't real. You don't have to negate anything. You're just going to give attention and awareness and therefore power to this felt, embodied, and mental image of the version of you that you love most. And by loving that image, it's going to begin to seed an intent in your life which draws you towards that. It's incredible how powerful this is. When I've done this, almost invariably, 3 to 6 months later, I look back and I might find this bit of paper that I've been scribbling on, and it might be this meditation with the emotion, the me articulating and writing out from this feeling. And I read it and I realize that I've created, or that I am, what I wrote about. And it's like, oh wow, that happened. I mean, I didn't realize how powerful that was. It's like you plant this subconscious seed so deeply and with so much energy that it kind of finds its way through the obstacles and through the cracks in the concrete or the crust of the conditioned patterns that you're currently within. So before you write, sit down, center yourself by taking some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Relax into your body. Feel the grounding beneath you. It could be your feet, it could be your bum, it could be, if you're lying down, your whole back side. Breathe into the muscle tissues and breathe into your layers and soften the skin, soften the flesh, soften the sinews, soften the fascia, soften the sheath, soften everything, and release outward to dissipate anything that is bound. By doing this with your body, by making yourself more permeable and leaning into the soft rhythmicality of the breath, you can begin to plant into the unconscious or subconscious self the feelings, images, and versions of you that you want to then install or cultivate. So from this feeling, start to connect with love. Start to connect with the state of being that you would exist in if you had all the power in the world. That unconditional sense of fullness, or perhaps trustingness within emptiness. That sense of spontaneous change, flow, security, not stagnation, control, imagined security. And then from that place, start to visualize the people who are in your life. And beyond visualizing them, feel their presence. Feel how you feel to them. Start to bring in the places that you frequent. Even if you don't know these places yet, visualize the places that you're going to be in. Visualize the kind of geography, houses, gyms, cafes, learning centers, healing centers, basketball courts, whatever it is, rivers that you want to be amongst, and feel how it is to be there. Feel the skills that you have. Feel the sense of capability, the sense of imagination, creativity, willpower, discernment, clarity, embodied, purposeful action that you're exuding. And if there's anything else that you particularly want to have, feel that. Breathe it into the body. Breathe it into the tissues with this soft permeability of release. And continue to flesh it out. What are you doing? What's your time invested in? Who have you become? How does it feel to look past these old stories and to shed love on all of the other versions of yourself that you could have been, knowing that you are, in the present moment, the version that you need to be? And from here, write that down. Put pen to paper. Keep writing. You'll flesh it out. And as you're writing, you'll realize that there are parts that you haven't yet extrapolated on. There are parts you could go into more detail on. Take your time. There's no rush. Keep feeling as the version of you that is most loving, potent, and relaxed. Right from that space, all of the details. All of the details. Don't worry about things coming true or not. Channel it. And then close that practice by sitting in gratitude. Not an enforced gratitude where you tell yourself that you should be proud of or thankful for what you have, but the gratitude of knowing that you're entitled to absolutely nothing. And yet at the same time, you are able, on command, to feel into and experience this fullness within yourself just through the power of your own heart, mind, spirit, body. The gratitude that comes from knowing that this life didn't have to be here, but it is. That out of the unmanifest, out of this lack of awareness, you have emerged as a conscious, radiant being. And just marinate in that. Marinate in it. And then put that piece of paper or that notepad away, somewhere beautiful, somewhere safe. Close the page. Say thank you to yourself and to everything that will make you who you are and remind you who you are. And that's it. Go about your life. You've planted the seed. Trust in it. Move towards that feeling whenever you have the opportunity, and don't overthink it. Just be led by the feeling, be led by the intuitive filter of what fits that and what doesn't fit. Don't be afraid to make strong decisions here, and then to back those decisions up by leaning into that loving power and potency. And then let me know what happens in 3 months, 6 months, a year. Especially if you revisit this practice every few months. It's very powerful. It's like charging up a battery, spinning the wheels. Once the wheels are spinning, if you add more charge, more power, they spin even faster, and it takes even less effort to keep them spinning. That's how you manifest. Have a go.